Welcome back to VL Extras, where we unpack the boldest, most jaw-dropping stories in tech. We've covered neurotech pioneers, AI game changers, and robotic horses, but today's story is straight out of a Silicon Valley drama. Meet Chungin Roy Lee, a 21-year-old who went from a Columbia University computer science star to a suspended dropout, all because he built an AI tool to cheat on tech interviews. Instead of backing down, Roy doubled down, raised $5.3 million, and launched Cluely, a startup that says it can help you cheat on everything. Is he a rebel genius or a tech villain? Let's dive into his wild journey and find out. In the heart of Gwinnett County, Georgia, a young prodigy named Chungin Roy Lee was already turning heads. At Peachtree Ridge High School, Roy wasn't just another student. He was the 2022 Gwinnett County Star Student, a title reserved for the senior in the top 10% of their class with the highest SAT score. His academic brilliance was undeniable, a beacon of promise in a sea of potential. But Roy's journey was never destined to be ordinary. Accepted to Harvard University, one of the most prestigious institutions in the world, his future seemed set. Yet, in a twist of fate, his offer was rescinded due to a disciplinary action, what some reports called sneaking. The details remain murky, but the setback was profound. Harvard's gates closed and Roy faced a crossroads. Undeterred, Roy charted a new path. He enrolled at Diablo Valley College in California's Bay Area, a community college far from the Ivy League's ivory towers. There, from 2023 to 2024, he earned an associate's degree in mathematics, proving his resilience and intellectual hunger. Roy wasn't just rebuilding, he was redefining what success meant to him. In 2024, Roy's ambition led him to Columbia University, where he dove into computer science. The Ivy League welcomed him once more, but Roy's entrepreneurial spirit was restless. Alongside his studies, he began hacking on startup ideas with a friend, dreaming of building something revolutionary. But it was one idea, one audacious creation that would change everything. Roy developed Interview Coder, an AI-powered tool designed to assist candidates in technical job interviews. It was undetectable, powerful, and controversial. Roy used it to secure internship offers from tech giants like Amazon, Meta, and TikTok. But when he shared his success online, the backlash was swift. Companies rescinded their offers, and Columbia University launched a disciplinary investigation. In March 2025, Columbia suspended Roy for a year, citing his violation of disciplinary hearing protocols by sharing sensitive documents online. But Roy didn't wait for redemption. He dropped out, choosing entrepreneurship over academia. His creation, Interview Coder, was already generating millions in revenue, and Roy was just getting started.
I feel like I'm all in. Like, I'm already blacklisted. What's Amazon gonna do? Blacklist me even more. I almost stopped programming, which is like something that I really love doing.
Doing something to get blacklisted from big tech was like pretty like no-brainer decision.
We would just like fucking farm offers. I get in a lot of trouble at school.
Didn't have a lot of friends like early in high school.
My mom was always so worried about me, and we would record them, and this would be like the most controversial tech demo of the year. And maybe I'll end up in jail.
Okay, I'm in Shake Shack, right in front of Columbia University with Roy and Neil, who are the founders of Interview Coder, and they're gonna give us their story. So we'll just get started with Roy.
Yeah, I'm Roy. I built Interview Coder. I went to school, and for a long time, I thought I was gonna be like an investment banker. So I got accepted my senior year early to Harvard University, but then went on a school field trip, and I snuck out at like 1 a.m. There was a hotel security guard that caught me. We were out past curfew. I didn't realize there was a curfew, so I just tried to book it, but we got caught, and I ended up getting a suspension. Harvard got alerted of the suspension, and then I got rescinded. And that was kind of like a super pivotal point in my life. My mom, we run like a college prep consulting business, so it was really big news when the youngest son of the family got into Harvard, and it would have been even bigger news if it got out that I got rescinded. So we just decided to like keep it completely under wraps. So I spent like a year just locked up in my house with nothing to do, and I just didn't talk to anybody outside of my immediate family. Shit made me kind of crazy, honestly. That's where I learned how to program, and it's where I learned that it's probably what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. I didn't even have the energy to doom scroll. I was just like I really thought I was going crazy inside my head. But after that, I kind of didn't get into any of the schools that I reapplied to. Somebody wrote a footnote in my application saying that I got rescinded from Harvard. After I went like 0 for like 22, even after a year, we were still at this point where we didn't tell anybody. I went to community college in California. The intention here was to transfer to UC Berkeley, but at this point, I was out of like the traditional education education system for so long that I kind of just thought maybe college isn't in my cards at all, and maybe like the out for me is just to get a job. That's when I started doing LeetCode extremely paranoidally seriously, because I really thought this was my only out. Like, I can't go to college anymore. So I ended up doing something like 600 LeetCode questions during this time. I was like top 2% of users globally. This was probably the most miserable experience I had programming. I mean, I spent 600 hours on the website, and I didn't enjoy a second of it. Like LeetCode was just a miserable experience. I reapplied again as transfer. Columbia was the only school that accepted me once again, but this is because my suspicion is that Columbia works on the coalition application rather than the common app for transfers, so there's like a different process entirely. I was just of the mindset that schooling is not for me. Like, the world is changing as we know it, and it's just time for me to build a company. So I came to Columbia, and I talked to maybe 50 people I met. Every single smart person I met, do you want to build a company with me? Do you want to be my co-founder? And Neil was like kind of the only person that said yes. So we ended up co-founding, and we ended up being like a really good fit. We ended up building like pretty much everything together. Interview Coder, it just started out as like a side project. So once we decided that, then it wasn't that risky of us to do this Interview Coder play where we would get blacklisted from all of big tech. And as soon as we saw that we had it working, we like immediately knew, holy shit, we're onto something big here. And that's when we started this like 3-month-long marketing ploy where we would just like fucking farm offers, and we would record them, and this would be like the most controversial tech demo of the year, because it would literally be us like recording ourselves cheating our way and like publicly blacklisting ourselves from all of big tech. We definitely got way more viral than I thought. I feel like I'm all in. Like, I'm already blacklisted. What's Amazon gonna do? Blacklist me even more? It's become more of a movement than anything, and which is to get rid of LeetCode interviews. I mean, like, I wasted 600 hours of my life. I almost stopped programming, which is like something that I really love doing, because of this like stupid ass technical interview system. I think with the virality we have, like, we actually have a genuine shot of taking it down.
You want to give me a quick overview of just like where you're from, how'd you come to Columbia, and then how'd you meet?
I'm Neil. I'm from like a suburb of Dallas, like a pretty boring suburb of Dallas. Didn't have a lot of friends like when I was like early in high school, because I spent so much time doing math and shit. Before I met Roy, for the year before that, I thought I was gonna be a quant trader, and I did that. I had an interview at the end for some quant trading thing, and it was like depressing as fuck. I like went, and there was like everyone was like everyone on the trading floor was like seemed very, very sad, and I was like, this cannot be my life. Like, if I continue with this path, like for the next 5 to 10 years, I'm not gonna be happy. And then thankfully in September, I met Roy. He looked at me and said, "Do you want to start a company?" I think he looked at me because he just said I look smart. Nothing came from that initial moment, but we started doing like a lot of small things together, and didn't really go anywhere. But the big takeaway was that like we were a very good co-founder fit, and we worked very well together. I think at some point we decided we're gonna go like all in on startups, and at that point, like, doing something to get blacklisted from big tech was like a pretty like no-brainer decision. There was like not even like a consideration.
A lot of questions from these stories. So one thing that's interesting is your family runs this business where you couldn't even tell people you got rescinded from Harvard, but now you're on the internet basically getting publicly blacklisted. That feels like a dichotomy. I mean, what do your parents think about this? How's that switch?
The parents are really nervous.
Was that text message that your mom sent you real, by the way?
Yeah. She didn't even know that all of this was happening until like 2 days ago. And then she kind of figured it out, and she called me extremely nervous and anxious. But I think going through the whole Harvard Community College, then back to Columbia saga, taught my parents like to just trust in me that I can figure things out. I've always been like a pretty wild kid. Like, I'd always just do like kind of whatever the fuck I wanted, and I get in a lot of trouble at school. My mom was always so worried about me, but when I got into Harvard the first time, she really eased up a lot, and maybe I'll end up in jail, but I think she trusts me.
You feel like you live for the plot?
Me? Yeah, I mean, there's like a quote, do whatever makes the best story. And I feel like that's what's like driven pretty much every single decision that's led to me being here.
And then quite similar for you, very interesting. I mean, quant. So, getting blacklisted from quant seems like a very 360 from trying to be a quant trader. Yeah. Are you just kind of like, all right, that's it, fuck it for the rest of my life?
I think before Roy too worked at a startup last summer. We both worked at like startups last summer. Okay. It kind of highlighted to me that like I would much rather work all day doing something I enjoyed versus like working even like a couple hours doing something I hated. Like there's no point. Like what's the point? The point of life is just something you enjoy. It doesn't make sense. Like to optimize so much so.
So how'd you guys meet? Like when you first met, was it like we're just gonna work together and whatever, or were you like, I got this idea to take down LeetCode?
Yeah, I mean, I was really just asking every smart Asian person that I found, like, hey, do you just want to start a company with me? Do you want to start a company with me? And then I think when Neil first met me, like, I think he thought I was weird or something. Like, we didn't actually end up working together until we met at a party, and then we kind of like chilled at the party. And then we started, and then after that, we just started working on side projects. But then after one point, we just decided like we have the technical ability to build pretty much anything. Let's just swing big here. What's the thing we can do that would be super viral? And it just immediately everything clicked for Interview Coder.
That same year, Roy joined the Z Fellows program, a prestigious entrepreneurial fellowship that recognized his bold vision. Now, at just 21, Roy is the founder of Cluely, a startup built on the ashes of Interview Coder. With $5.3 million in funding, he's pushing the boundaries of AI and challenging the status quo of tech hiring. Okay, let's unpack this. Roy's story could have ended at Columbia's suspension letter, but instead, he turned it into a launchpad. His startup, Cluely, is making waves and enemies. Let's dive into what Cluely is, why it's so controversial, and whether Roy's vision could actually change the game. Cluely, co-founded by Roy and his Columbia classmate Neil Shanmugam, both 21-year-old dropouts, isn't just Interview Coder 2.0. It's a whole new beast. Originally built to help coders ace LeetCode-style interviews, Cluely now markets itself as an AI tool to cheat on everything. Exams, sales calls, even job interviews in any field. How? It runs in a hidden browser window, invisible to Zoom or proctoring software, reading your screen and audio in real time to feed you answers. It's like having a genius whispering in your ear, and it's completely undetectable, at least for now. The backlash has been intense. Amazon blacklisted Roy, Meta, and TikTok pulled his internship offers. And Columbia's suspension wasn't just about the tool, it was for leaking hearing details online. Critics call Cluely a Black Mirror nightmare, especially after their launch video showed Roy using it to lie on a date. Yep, a date. Roy later said that was just for hype. Not a real use case, but the damage was done. Some say it undermines trust in hiring, while others, like coders fed up with grueling LeetCode tests, see Roy as a hero exposing a broken system.
Engineering, so, like coding.
Really?
Look, I know I look a little young for my age, but I promise you, I'm 30 years old.
Okay, well, maybe you are just way older than you look.
I saw in your profile that you're like into art.
Yeah, I've been really into illustration design, I didn't expect you to be an art guy. Oh man.
Here's your glass of rosé. And
Thank you.
Sorry, we couldn't verify your ID.
Oh,
so here's a grape juice for you.
Oh, wait, I'm pretty sure there's a mistake.
I think you're way too young for me, so I'm gonna have to go.
Wait. Okay, look, listen, I know I lied about my age, I'm sorry, but the second I saw your profile and I saw the painting with the tulips, you're just like the most gorgeous girl ever, and you're such an unbelievably talented artist. Do you think you can just give me like one chance to show you I can make this work?
Can you give me some time to think about it? Are you free sometime next week?
Ooh, actually, next week I have this anime convention I gotta go to with my boys. Do you think you could do like next month, maybe?
Oh my god.
So yeah, walk me through the actual product. How hard was it to build? Is it kind of ironic where you used a bunch of LLMs to build the LLMs to take down interviews? Like, how did you build it? Was it hard? Especially very interesting, the undetectability is probably like the main draw.
I think it took like a week to build, a week to debug. We bridged together a lot of different things, but the actual technology behind it is like pretty simple. I mean, that's like the big shock factor we're trying to prove. The actual like screen share undetectability is like the framework we use. It's like a line or two of code on like that framework to make stuff undetectable to screen sharing. There's some other stuff with like it's undetectable to keyboard shortcuts, undetectable to like active tab detection. There's like a couple of other features like that, and like bridging those together kind of makes it so that it's undetectable. But like all in all, it's like very easy to make cheating software. I think it's like the takeaway, and I think that highlights how broken a process is.
Core product was very shockingly simple to build. You're really just putting two pieces together that already exist. I think like just the existence of LLMs, that like reasoning models that can solve any problem, those can be applied to pretty much like so many existing features in the world. We just put two existing technologies together, and it really didn't.
This Columbia student created an invisible AI to cheat on job interviews, and it worked so well that he got a job offer from Amazon. But then he posted about it and went viral. So viral that he lost his job offer and got kicked out of Columbia. But here's what's crazy. Instead of his life falling apart, he just raised $5.3 million to grow his app, and he's expanding it to everything. It's called Cluely, and you can use it to cheat on anything. Sales calls, conversations, meetings, job interviews, literally anything. They announced the app with a really funny commercial that is also going viral. Over 25 million views in the last 48 hours. And it's going viral because everyone is arguing in the comments. It's a hilarious commercial and a genius move. And it's working because they're really leaning into this whole cheating thing. But here's the thing, the founders don't really see this as cheating at all. Sure, the world sees it as cheating, but that's what they said about the calculator, using spell check, or just being early to Google. The founder said that in 2 years, no one is going to see this as cheating. But what do you think? Would you consider this cheating, and would you use Cluely to get an upper hand?
But here's the flip side. Cluely's not perfect. Business Insider tested it and found delays of 5 to 10 seconds, which feels like forever in an interview. It also hallucinated saying the tester knew Malay when they didn't. Plus, a Reddit user claims they built a tool to detect Cluely with a few lines of Swift code. If true, Roy's undetectable edge might not last. And then there's the ethical question. Is this cheating? Or is it just leveling the playing field in a world where AI is already everywhere?